Did you like it? Did you like it? Ah, man. I think of my friends like Cedric, for example. I think he would really like it. I think he really liked it, man. I don't know. Maybe he didn't, and then that's just disappointing. But like it's just the music we bond over. It's the kind of stuff. Like the Kanye esque, Tyler the Creator esque. Just it's our thing. It's our thing. And maybe I'm gonna cut that because we'll definitely talk about influence and all that stuff next time. But this time, the next layer is our loneliness, to be honest. I think you put down your bravado of your political leanings and your philosophical takes and all of this stuff, and you're just thinking, man, I just want to be with people. I just want to hang out with people. I need friendship. And look, I know people, one, that are absolute like recluses, that like don't actually see anybody. But even them, they like play video games with people and they interact with people just in their way. And then I see people that are like, I don't need anybody. And they are, man, just in denial, obviously. Like everyone needs people. Oh my gosh, it's so simple, everyone needs company. And so I just explore, like, somewhat philosophically. Like, I'll tell you what. The first song is about how, like, if loneliness was a woman, she's the woman that I always go back to. She's always waiting for me. Super faithful, super loyal. I got my gumas, which is like Italian for, I got my side chicks or whatever. But I always come back. When they don't work, I always come back to loneliness. Y'all already know. So yeah, that's one aspect to loneliness of just like, oh, this is a lady and she's just so faithful to me. Oh my gosh, doesn't leave me, bro. No matter how I treat her, golly, a little nasty. Ugh. And then your typical, I've conquered the world, now I'm lonely kind of deal. I'm not remembering the songs right now. And that's I think why I just stick to the notes, talk about the great idea, the big ideas. But that I just, I play around with it. Like, loneliness. What is loneliness? What does that do? And one thought I have that I want us to like just think about and ruminate on. Ruminate, maybe this is the wrong word. I mean that the denotatively, not connotatively, right? I mean that by let's think about this, let's chew on this for a long time. But I don't mean like I'm gonna ruminate, I'm gonna like stew on this, like in a negative way, like in an angry way. That's not what I mean. Now, this idea that the price of individualism is usually loneliness. The price of individualism is usually loneliness. What I mean is, you want to do things your way. You want the world to be your way. You want people around you to be who you want them to be and all these things. You're going to end up in a vacuum by yourself. Now, I have a different project. There is this desire within me as an introvert. I want to escape to that void. But then I need people, and I want to belong and I want to feel at place. I want to feel like I have family, and these two feelings are at war with me. That's why we don't like loneliness, I think. It's because we all wrestle with those two things. We want to belong. We want to have family. What does family mean? I don't know. But, Don Toretto knows. I forgot his real name. I always do that. But the Fast and Furious guy, he knows. He knows what family is. But it's just, it's like flaws and all. We just get along, respect each other. We enjoy each other. We have like the whole 21 Pilots. Like we both smell. We have that smell that goes back to the same memory that only both of us know. Like the candle scent that he talks about in that song, the car radio. like that idea, like you're just with people who get you, who like really get you, I think we all want that. We all want that. And I don't know. I think you have to play, there is a give and take that you just have to be a part of to build something like that. You know what's crazy? I think of season 1 of Demon Slayer. Out of all the shows, man, I wasn't a huge fan of it, but that's what the whole lesser demons did, right? Like that guy, the spider dude, he like coerced and forced people out of fear to be his family, and he's like, this ain't it, this isn't what I'm looking for, you know so like there is this give and take, there is this vulnerability, there is this like, oh, I'm not perfect, oh, me neither, wow, who would have thought, human beings not perfect, where did this expectation come from? Because it didn't come from me, buddy, came from, who guessed it, yourself. That's the problem, isn't it? I don't know. I just like, I don't want to put like Gen Z on the spot, Gen Z women on the spot, or slash millennials. I don't really know. I'm like in this in between. So like the reference I have of humans, it's kind of just all over the place. I don't know who's who, but just this like be your girl, like your own girl boss and this and that. It's almost like at the beginning, at the birth of it, the idea of it is actually kind of cool. I myself, I like powerful women. Like there is something like noble. There's something just right. Like a Proverbs 31 woman is a strong woman, independent woman. She's handling business on her own. But there's what's not connecting there. The disconnect is but I come home at the end of the night to a family and I care for things, and I beautify rooms with my presence and with my touch, This is, I don't know, call me crazy, but I'm like one step above, maybe. I don't know. I'm getting myself into dangerous territory, but just that idea of like, yeah, be a girl boss and a trad wife at the same time. That's a real girl boss. You know what I mean? Anyways, I don't know. Maybe that's stupid. I am a guy. Who am I to? But dudes also, it's like keep your head down, grind, forget women, forget your friends. Like your millions will keep you company. It's like, who told you that? Oh man, you know what's crazy too? There's this idea of like, I gotta get my life together before I can find somebody. You know what's crazy? Can I tell you what's crazy about that? Such a silly idea. I would say the majority, like you ask old married couples, couples that have been married for 60 years, 50 years, 40, 30 years, they're going to tell you like the adventure is the marriage, of like I couldn't get where I am today without if my wife did not support me in blank. It could be financial support, emotional support, like just believing in the other person, this idea of we both started with absolutely nothing and look at what we've made. You're robbing yourself of that. Now you're saying, whatever, like, oh, competition, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Okay. If you're looking for a shallow person, you're going to need shallow qualities, But my challenge to you, dude, I had it in the tip of my tongue, dude. So that's one aspect, but getting your life together. I mean, there's things that you need to get together, you need to decide what you want at the very least. And I guess I'm talking, well, women and men, decide what you want first, know what you want. Have a taste of what you want. That doesn't mean go out and find it. Like, you ain't got to taste poop to know that poop ain't your thing. You know what I mean? You ain't got to, yeah, I don't know. That's one aspect. Lonely. I feel like we're not even talking about loneliness itself. We're talking about the pursuit of not being alone, which I guess is the commentary, right? Is the thing. It's like no one wants to be alone. I've dated loneliness. It sucked, you know. she she's needy. No, I'm just kidding. Um, but dude, just the price of individualism, the price of doing things your way, the price of achieving what you want. Like, oh man, another movie I think of is La La Land. You know, they could have done it. They could have done it. They just needed to stick it out. You know, but no, their ambitions were more important. Now look, I get it. Like you're not. I mean, you, you're not going to get greatness without sacrifice. I think that's just what sucks. Maybe. Maybe it's an American sentiment. You know, what's better, being great or being loved? How bad is it that you and I both say that it is better to be great? Isn't that crazy? Oh my, that's pathetic. Like, can we just be honest? Can we just be honest with ourselves? I'm being honest and saying, I think being great is better than being loved. There's something wrong with me. You know what I mean? I'm happy to admit that. Oh my gosh. Would I rather not be loved? Why not? I think that's something that has been working on me. I think actually working on this album the second time helped that because I would listen to these. So, like, for example, Dinner for Two. I wrote that song a long time ago. It was cheesy, tacky. It was just, rudimentary jazz because I was just experimenting and I was like, oh, these chord progressions sound so good and I'm so intelligent. And I was like, whatever. Put that to the side. Let's get what this song is about out. Let's excavate that. And I saw my life flash before my eyes, And I think that's the superpower that I have in what I call wisdom. Like being smart is learning from your mistakes. Being super smart is learning from other people's mistakes. And then there's like this level, I don't want to put, and this is where I am, but I learn from make-believe mistakes. You know what I mean? Like I see, like, and I see this in other people's lives too. Like this is just how I give advice to people. Like, hey, you're doing this thing. This is a habit that you do. Have you thought that maybe this is going to take you down this road? Like just, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Like it's working for you now. Think about if this is going to work for you in the long run. And so I'm thinking like, oh, I'm so ambitious. I'm working. I'm putting in the hours. I'm doing all these things. And I'm leaving people that I love behind. I'm leaving the opportunity of having moments behind because I'm pursuing this thing that I could pursue for the rest of my life. Like there's this football player that I heard talk about this. Like I'll get contracts here, there. I'll always have a contract, always, but I only have one wife. I only have my kids. I only have them at 2 years old for when they're 2 years old. I'm not going to have that back. Football, you make a mistake, you get cut, you injure yourself, whatever. It keeps going and the money's not going to run out. You make millions a year on a contract. You put that, whatever. You might think I'm like super intelligent with a bunch of things. Money is zero. I am an idiot with money. I know when money's getting stolen, though. You know what I'm saying? I know when I'm getting scammed, but that's the extent. I don't know how to make money. I don't know how to make money for me. I probably will need people for that if hopefully if that ever is me, I'm gonna need people for that 100%. I don't know what that means. I'm probably gonna need to be taught. You know how like apparently you get high up you need lawyers to double check lawyers, so you got like a third party lawyer to check the lawyer, and that's just business. I would rather just be taught the thing to be the third party. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's the best way to do it, but also that's a headache, dude. Then I'm always working, double checking other people's stuff, and I'm not moving forward. Oh my god, you know what I mean? Like, let's live our lives, bro. And so we're lonely, but we're not prioritizing that. And maybe it's because we don't know how. And so that's why this question comes into my mind of, is your individualism worth loneliness? Is it worth it to have things exactly the way you want it? You know, like, people be in line or whatever the case is. No one can contradict you. No one can, whatever. Is all of that worth it? Or the grind, putting your head down, screw everybody, I'm going after it. Is all of that worth it if you're alone? Is it worth being right over being alone? Or like, being right and being alone can sometimes be partners. Like, is it worth it? That's the question I pose. That's the thing I want you to think about, and as you listen to this album. Again, Wednesday. The first song is probably one of my favorites. The first song on this album is probably one of my favorites. So I hope you enjoy it. See ya.